Hey everyone, welcome to the Rootstock Scaffold tutorial. In this video, we'll take a look at how to deploy decentralized applications on Rootstock in a step-by-step map. First, let's understand what Rootstock and Scaffold is. So Rootstock is the first and longest lasting Bitcoin sidechain. It is the only layer 2 solution that combines the security of Bitcoin's proof of work with Ethereum's smart contract. The platform is open source, Ethereum compatible, and secured by 60% of Bitcoin's hashing power. Now, the Rootstock Scaffold is an open source development tool built for developers by developers. It provides a simple way to build, debug, and deploy decentralized applications on Rootstock. It's built with a modern tech stack including Next.js, RainbowKit, Hardhat, Wagmi, VM, and TypeScript. So these are a few requirements that you need before building a project with this tutorial. The first is Node version 18 or higher. Second is Yarn version 1, 2 or higher. And the third is Git. So let's start with the tutorial. If we head over to github.com/rsk/rsk-scaffold.git. So this is the repository for the Rootstock Scaffold toolkit. So let's copy the cloning URL, open up a terminal, run git clone, and paste this. So the Rootstock Scaffold repository has been cloned. Now let's run yarn install after changing the directory. So this command will just install under all the dependencies that are mentioned in the package.json file. So it will take us 1 or 2 minutes. So let's hold on for that. Okay, now the installation is done. Now let's open our IDE. So I'm using VS Code, but you can use whichever IDE that you want. Let's take a look at our project structure. So it has two packages, Hardhat and Next.js. And before we begin, we'll need to set up some environment variables. So first is the Hardhat package. Let's copy all the variables declared in the env.example file and create a new file named dot. Copy the contents of the env.example file and paste it into .env file. Now you need to enter your deploy private key and the rootstock RPC URL. For the deploy private key, just go open your MetaMask and go to account details, and then you'll have to enter your password and get the deploy private key. Once you do that, paste the deploy private key over here. And for the rootstock RPC URL, head over to dashboard.rpc.rootstock.io and create a new, just for sign up, and then create a new API key. And copy the API key and enter in the rootstock RPC URL. So I'll wait for you to do the same while I do the same thing. Okay, so that is done now. Now let's set up the environment variables for Next.js application. Do the same thing, copy the env.example file into a new, paste the contents here. For this package, you'll just need the Rootstock RPC URL that you just copied from the dashboard. Replace it with your own URL or just paste the API key, whichever is convenient for you. I'll wait for you to do that. Okay, so now that we have finished setting up the environment variable, now let's just take a look at the smart contract. So this is a very basic smart contract, which lets the user set a greeting, and then the greeting can be fetched from the blockchain. It has a constructor which just sets a owner to the address that is deploying. Then it has a set greeting function and withdraw function for the premium that is being sent during the set greeting function. So it is a very basic contract, and this is the deploy script that is required to deploy the contract. And last thing that we want to check before deploying is the hardhat.config.ts file. So this file has the details for the Rootstock Testnet. So as you can see, it has the Rootstock RPC URL, deploy private key, which is being fetched from the .env file, and the chain ID. So now that we have everything that we need to start the deployment, open your terminal and open up two more terminals. You need three terminals for this project. The first terminal, run yarn chain. This command will just spin up a local hardhat chain, and this is just a list of 20, I think, burner accounts which can be used as your hardhat accounts. In the second terminal, run yarn deploy. This command will deploy your contracts to the Rootstock testnet using the deploy script, which we have created in the hardhat package. Before running the script, make sure that you have some testnet tokens in your wallet. After doing that, let's run yarn deploy. It may take a few minutes. Okay, now your contract has been deployed. So this is the transaction hash for our deployment. And this is the contract address at which the contract has been deployed. So if we copy this address and go to Rootstock Explorer, explorer.testnet.rootstock.io is the link to the Rootstock Explorer. Paste our contract address over here. As you can see, it has been deployed a minute ago. The creator is the address which I have been using as a deployment address, and the balance is 0 RBTC. So now let's start our front end. So the Next.js application is running on the localhost 3000 port. If you open that port, so it may take a few minutes to compile. So it has been compiled in 75 seconds. Let's take a look at the front end. Okay, so now our front end has compiled. Let's take a look at some helpful links. So the get funds has a link to the faucet. The Explorer has a link to the Block Explorer and the Rootstock documentation over here. This little button has a link to the debug contracts function, debug contracts page, and it has some more information about how you can edit your project using the Rootstock Scaffold toolkit. Now let's take a look at the debug contracts page. Okay, so our debug contracts page has a few details about the contract, the address, the balance, the network, and some contract variables like greeting, owner, premium, and total counter. So this is the default greeting that has been set using the deploy script. So the owner of the account is me, and the premium is set to false because there is new contract, and the total counter is also 0. So now if I just copy my address and paste it in the user greeting counter function and read the function, I'll get the result 0 because it is a very new contract. I need to interact with it first before I can get results in the user greeting counter. So now let's set a greeting. Let's say hello Rootstock devs and press send. A MetaMask will pop up, and when I confirm this transaction, okay, so waiting for a transaction to complete. So let's hold on to that. The transaction has been completed successfully. Yeah, as you can see, the greeting has been changed to hello Rootstock developers. The total counter has increased to 1. And now let's check the user greeting count. So you can see that the result is 1, which was 0 before. So this is basically the boilerplate code that has been given using the Rootstock Scaffold toolkit. So if you want to customize it in your own way, you can check out you just need to update the contract in the hard hat directory and adjust the deploy script to your needs. And you're set. Just basically deploy your contracts, update your front end in the Next.js directory, and you can build a lot of applications using the Rootstock Scaffold toolkit. That's it. Have fun building with the Rootstock Scaffold toolkit. Thank you for watching this video.